Hello everyone, today we are going to be walking through how to make our graphics for our presentation that we'll be doing in class regarding the graphs and graph equations. So to start, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our website and we're going to be going to PixLR. That's the name of the image editing software we will be using. And then when we get here, what we're going to do is we're going to press this Create New button. And then we're going to select just an image here. What I find to be best is it's 12 MPX. So we'll go ahead and click that and then click Create. Cool. Now we have ourselves a blank slate to work with. First thing we want to do is we want to add a background. So we'll go to this Layout and Template section. Go to click where it says Background. And that'll pop up a little bit of a background. So what you'll want to do is go to this color right here. And then we're just going to pick a color. We'll find something preferably just a little bit more subtle, just so it doesn't take away from the actual graphic. And we'll do a nice subtle blue there. And you are free to select whatever color you want, as long as it doesn't distract from what the actual graphic will be. So we'll go ahead and X out of the layout part. And now what we're going to do is go to this add element or image, because we'll be creating our graph here. And when we create our graph, we are going to be using mainly these arrows. You're free to use other shapes or whatever else you think you can use to make a graph, as long as it looks like the equation that you're trying to get. So what we'll do here is we'll click on this arrow. So now that we have our arrow here, we're going to make that a little bit bigger so we can actually make our graph. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start to form our graph. We know that to start a graph, we have to make our X and Y axes. And we'll use arrows to do that. If I can get it level, there we go. It seems about level, and about is okay. We don't need anything perfectly exact. And what we will need to do now is we have one arrow. So what we're going to do to make more of them is we're going to click on the arrow. We want to duplicate it. We want to make more of them so we can make a full graph. So now we have two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this one up with our other arrow so we can make a full x-axis. Fantastic. I'm going to click on this one. We're just going to duplicate it again. Great. We're going to form our y-axis here. Duplicate again. And again, we're just shaping it here. That's all we're doing for the time being. Doesn't have to be perfect. Fantastic. Now that we have our graph again, or our axes, we now want to make our actual graph. And you can choose whatever equation that you would like, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to choose to do an abstract or an absolute value graph. So what I'm going to do to create that is I'm actually just going to duplicate these same arrows, and I'm going to start to form an absolute value graph. And we know how that looks from class. We'll make this just a little bit smaller just to distinguish it a little bit from the rest of the graph. I'll actually change the color of it here as well. But this time I'm just going to create it, and then we can go back and change the color in a second. So duplicated this one. We're going to form our absolute value here, which we know takes a V shape. Fantastic. Now we have our absolute value on our X and Y axis. And what we're going to do, is we are going to click on these arrows that we're wanting to change the color of. We'll go to the Effect tab. We can really choose any of them that is going to change the color. So we'll go ahead and do this. This is a nice fun little green color, just to make it a little bit different. Again, we'll go to the other arrow, go to the effects, same color. Fantastic. Now we have our graph. And that is all that we're going to do. We are done.